They don't just hunt. They plan. They don't just communicate. They teach. They don't simply survive in the ocean. They shape it. The orca is not a mindless killer. It is one of the most advanced predators evolution has ever produced. And the deeper science looks, the more unsettling the truth becomes. We share this planet with a non-human intelligence. We still do not fully understand. For decades, orcas were reduced to a stereotype. Black and white bodies. Massive jaws. Rows of teeth built to kill. Popular culture turned them into symbols of raw violence. Creatures driven by instinct alone. But modern science tells a very different story. Today, we know that orcas possess one of the most complex cognitive and social systems ever documented in the animal kingdom. Their world is not chaos. It is structure. It includes language, memory, strategy, cooperation, and traditions passed down across generations. To understand orcas, we must abandon the idea that intelligence belongs to humans alone. Despite their size, orcas are not whales in the biological sense. They are the largest members of the dolphin family. That single fact changes everything. Dolphins are among the most intelligent animals on Earth. And orcas represent the upper extreme of that lineage. An adult orca's brain weighs between 5 and 6 kilograms. Larger than the brain of any other marine animal. And nearly 4 times the mass of a human brain. But size alone does not explain intelligence. The cerebral cortex of an orca is deeply folded, increasing surface area. Highly developed in regions linked to memory, learning, social awareness, emotional processing. This is not a brain built only for reflex. It is a brain built for understanding. Orcas do not display intelligence the way primates do. They do not use hands. They do not build physical tools. Instead, their intelligence is revealed through behavior. Through precision. Through coordination. Through decisions made in environments where mistakes mean death. Every hunt is a problem to solve. Every migration is a calculation. Every social interaction is part of a complex hierarchy. And these decisions are made in darkness, in cold water, often without visual information. This is cognition under pressure. Orcas live in stable, long-term family groups known as pods. At the core of each pod is a matriarch. This system is one of the strongest matriarchal structures known in nature. Female orcas can live 60 to 90 years. Often decades beyond their reproductive age. And even after reproduction ends, their importance only increases. Scientific studies show that pods led by older females locate food more reliably, survive periods of scarcity more successfully, adapt better to environmental change. The reason is memory. These matriarchs carry decades of ecological knowledge. Migration routes, seasonal prey patterns, locations where food remains available during bad years. This knowledge is not genetic. It is learned. Which means it is culture. In biology, culture is defined as behavior transmitted through social learning, not DNA. By that definition, orcas have culture. And this is no longer debated. Different orca populations hunt different prey, use different techniques, produce distinct vocalizations, and rarely interbreed with other groups. Some orcas eat almost exclusively fish. Others specialize in marine mammals. Some hunt sharks. And crucially, an orca cannot simply switch lifestyles. It must be taught. Without cultural knowledge, an orca cannot survive. Each pod of orcas uses a unique acoustic dialect. These are not random sounds. They are structured patterns of clicks, whistles, and calls. Research has shown calves learn their pod's dialect early in life. Dialects remain stable for decades. Pods with different dialects rarely associate. Sound is identity. Through sound, orcas recognize family, distinguish outsiders, and maintain social bonds in complete darkness. In the ocean, language is survival. When orcas hunt, they do not rush. They organize. They assign roles. They synchronize movement. They adapt tactics to the environment. They create waves to wash seals off ice floes. They use sound to confuse prey. They isolate individuals from groups. They exhaust targets rather than attack blindly. Every action depends on trust. One mistake can collapse the entire strategy. This level of coordination requires prediction, communication, and shared understanding. It is not instinct alone. No species regularly preys on orcas. They sit at the very top of the marine food web. This position gives them enormous influence. Orcas regulate seal populations, fish distribution, the behavior of other predators. Their presence alone reshapes ecosystems. Animals alter migration routes. They change feeding times. They avoid certain areas altogether. This phenomenon is known as the ecology of fear. And orcas are its architects. But here is where the story shifts. If orcas are this intelligent, this social, this culturally complex, what happens when their world collides with ours? What happens when ship noise overwhelms their language? When prey species collapse from overfishing? When oceans warm faster than even the most adaptable predators can respond? The answers to these questions force us to reconsider our role in the ocean. And they lead us directly into the next chapter. In part 2, we go deeper into the mind of the orca, into learning, memory, and teaching, into the science that reveals just how close and how distant their intelligence is from our own. Because orcas are not simply reacting to the ocean. They understand it.